Hey everybody, today we're going to make some yummy crockpot chili. I'm Tammy and welcome back to my empty nest. So to start with, we're going to need an onion, some ground meat, a whole bunch of seasoning, 2 cans of tomato sauce, 3 cans of beans, whatever kind you want to use, a can of diced tomatoes, and some brown sugar. So most of these seasonings you probably already have in your cabinet, so just check and make sure. And here is what I always dump them in one little bowl so they're already mixed up. So you're going to need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of cumin, a quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, or more or less, depending on how hot you like it, and 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt. So like I said, I like to get mine all mixed together, and that way it's just ready to go when I get ready for it. And that's what she looks like. You can always prepare a bunch of that in advance and just keep it in the cabinet for when you need it. So, of course, to start, we're going to brown our ground meat and our diced onion. And you just want to get it all good and browned up. And then you're going to want to make sure that you, of course, drain all of your grease out of there. If you don't use a really lean meat, make sure you get the grease out. So then once that is all done, we are going to add that to our crock pot. Or we'll just drop the pan in the crock pot, whatever, how we do around here. So just add that all to your crock pot. And then we're going to add a can of black beans, 1 can of light red kidney beans, and 1 can of pinto beans. Now, these are the beans I like to use in mine. Normally, though, I don't use pinto beans. I use like a white bean, but you can use whatever kind of beans you want. I just use 3 cans, and I drain them and I rinse them. And then you're going to add your 1 can of diced tomatoes. And then you're going to add your 2 cans of tomato sauce. And then I always add a half a can to a can of water. I just put it in my tomato sauce can and, swish it around so you can get the rest of that tomato sauce out of there. But this just depends on how juicy you like your chili. If you don't like a lot of juice, don't add the water. If you like a little more juice, add a little bit more water. Just whatever your preference is, it doesn't really matter. It's going to come out tasting delicious either way. So you want to get that all good and stirred around. Make sure you get it all good and mixed up. And I love to cook my chili in the crock pot, y'all, because the whole house smells good all day. It's just yummy. So make sure you add your seasonings in there, of course. And then you're going to mix that up really good. And this stuff, y'all, it smells so good just right out of the gate. You really could cook this on the stove if you wanted to, of course. If you don't have all day to cook your chili or you didn't take it out and start it or whatever. But like I said, I like to put mine on and just cook it all day long. The anticipation of smelling it all day. So just pop your lid on your crock pot, and then we're going to turn it on low for 8 hours. And like with anything else I cook in the crock pot, sometimes I put it on high for an hour or two and then change it over to low if I'm home while it's cooking. Ooh, y'all, look, that is looking good already. Look at that. Yummy. So here we are at the end of the day. Time to eat. This is what she looks like, y'all. It's really, really good. Get it all mixed up. All them flavors floating on the top there. And you can add, of course, whatever you like with your chili. Make cornbread with your chili. You can put some cheese on it, however you want it. If you don't like beans, leave the beans out. You can cook it however you like it. If you want more beans, put more beans. If you want less beans, don't use as many as I did. However you want to cook yours, I'm sure it's going to be fine either way. And then you just scoop you up a bowl And y'all, this chili was so good. I ate some and then I put the rest of it in little containers and I put it in the freezer. So I've got chili anytime I want it. I hope that you will try this chili. It's super delicious and I just know you're going to love it.